Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode number 2 of RollPlay Nebula Jazz. I'm going to give you a moment to collect yourself, Brooke. We'll get to you. I'll start somewhere else.
You.
Let's get caught up with everybody else. Thank you, by the way, for rushing around to get to the episode going. I see that you're in an unusual location, so thank you for.
We can discuss that.
Yeah, thanks for getting that sorted out. Take a breather. So this is our second episode. We're going to be most or some of us will be at PAX next week. So we're gonna have to wring as much excitement and drama out of today's episode as we can. Jesse, are you going to PAX?
I will be at PAX. Yeah? I'm excited.
That's good. So I don't know if you know this or you remember this, but PAX South last year I think is the first time that you and I met in person.
Was it? Oh, you know what? It absolutely. I'll tell you. If I'm correct in this assumption, I believe it was you walking around with JP, and the two of you were walking around, and it was kind of either right after the con had ended, whatever the case was. I saw you, said hello, and then immediately was like, "Gotta go to the bathroom." And
that was we were like ships in the night.
Yeah. I saw you guys. And was like, "Oh, it's so cool. Hi. All right, I gotta go take a dump." So yeah, that is.
And they say that first impressions don't matter. What are you doing? What are you doing at PAX South? You doing is Krendor going? Are you doing the Cox and Krendor thing?
Yeah, Cox and Krendor's happening. Look, open invitation to anyone who wants to come with us to our annual adventure to Sweet Yams. Sweet Yams is that restaurant that looks like a crack den, maybe like 12 blocks from the convention center. Best food in the city. Best food in San Antone. You gotta go. Everyone's gotta come with us. They reckon they know us because we left them a review on Yelp. And when we went back last year, they were like, "Oh, you guys." And they gave us free stuff. I'm telling you, you gotta come. It's all organic, my people. It's organic food.
Organic sweet yams.
Organic sweet yams.
I'd be worried if the sweet yams weren't organic, and be honest. Official sweet yams.
Welcome to America.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not doing like anything. I'm gonna go chill. It's gonna be great.
I feel like that's still PAX South's jam though. Like it's still pretty quiet. It's still like a little on the DL.
Yeah.
Sam, you and Dodger, you're not going this year, right? No. Yeah. See, that's the thing. It's like it's still little. It's one of those ones where you don't have to go. It's not like East where it's like if you don't go, everyone's like, "Did you die?" Or yeah. No, it's nice. It's nice that it's chill. Eventually, though, it'll overflow like East. I'm sure.
I think South has become sort of my PAX West, PAX Prime. I don't like Prime anymore.
No,
it is
I've stopped going.
It's too big.
It's too big. It's the exact same things, at least in our industry, that you'd see at E3. Like none of it's just insane. It's too much. East you can go to because it's like I'm going to the other side of the country and it's Boston and there's like it's a different experience.
I'm happy to see that you know how to pronounce Boston correctly. That's
yeah.
Boston.
Yeah. And it's like a South. I think is that ChillCon that I just love to go to, and the people you meet there are super nice. And everything about it is chill and relax, and I can't hype it up enough, guys. It's super fun. Plus, then you can go down to the Riverwalk, and there's like actual restaurants that aren't crowded because there aren't like 12 million people in the damn city. So it's great.
Yeah, don't sleep on PAX South. It's a good one. But I feel
you realize by doing this and advertising this, you're tainting PAX South and just filling it.
Yeah, this is small purity.
This should have been the best kept secret. You guys.
This is the last good year. We're done.
It's true.
This is
totally
it.
This is the last one. We're out. Like you gotta treat conventions like an old timey feudal farmer. You gotta like leave the field for a few years so that it like dies down and move on to another PAX and just rotate them.
Or just do what my family does, which is set it on fire. What?
Yeah, that too. Oh. You could burn it down when it gets too big.
It's probably not a good idea to set a convention on fire. I'm just throwing that out there, though.
But setting fields on fire makes them grow back all the more strong.
Hey, on Agriculture with Dodger.
Adam, can we take our introduction next to Dodger? Because I have been in that office for, I want to say 2 years now. I don't know what room you're in. I've never seen that room in my life.
Yeah, let's take it on over to the slightly fishbowl shaped office the Dodger is in. How's it going over there?
It's going great. I am in Octopimp's office.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you cared at all about Octopimp, you would know exactly where I
see
am.
his anime posters on the wall and just 180 back the other way.
He has a beautiful stack of Dakimakura over there, just like big old pillows. They're beautiful.
I was gonna say, for those of us who don't speak weeb, what are those?
Yeah.
Anime body pillows.
Anime body pillows, yeah.
Got it.
Whenever I leave my office, he'll like sneak one in and put it in the chair, just like a guy in a swimsuit or something.
Good. It's good stuff. So shout out to Alex for letting me use his office. For those of you who don't know, Jesse and I are kicked out of our offices currently because they're trying to soundproof the walls so that we can stop screaming at each other by accident.
Yes, by accident.
Now
I don't know why they put the two loudest motherfuckers in rooms next to each other, but that's fine.
I feel bad. I'll never know when you're streaming again, and I'll have to come over and like sort of knock and like, can I come in and harass you now?
Can I make goof? Is it okay? Cool. I'll start the goof.
I just see Jesse now. I'm just imagining that gag from the Simpsons Halloween episode where Homer does the axe through the door thing, but there's no one in every room for 4 or 5 times. Like you just popping in, be like, "Here's Jet." Oh, nobody's here. All right, next office. Just wandering around trying to pop in on people's stream. Yeah. I saw you were doing some crafting, Dodger. Is that? Can you tell me more about that?
Sam, you have it behind you. I made my very first team. I made my very first little doll.
She left it here. She wasn't supposed to.
I made a doll for the first time. I sculpted the face.
She left it here to curse me.
Okay. Cursed doll. It's good.
Yeah. This is my owl empress that I made. I sculpted her little face and then made her body. And I love her. She's super cute.
That's actually kind of amazing. Look at that thing.
Thank you.
And I see, Sam, I can see what you mean about feeling like it might be cursed. I would not turn my back on that thing after midnight. But yeah. How long did that take you to make, Dodger?
I want to say like an hour.
Oh wow,
something like that. It's super easy. It was really, really fun. I went to my friend Holly Conrad's house, who's like a fantastic cosplayer and just general like crafter. And we were going to just sculpt like little things and then mold, like do molding and casting. But the mold that she had was the kind that takes like a day to cure. So we poured it in and we were like, all right, what are we going to do now? And she was like, you want to make dolls? I was like, yes, I do. Absolutely. So I made that little doll that's now cursing my sweet love.
I don't know that if someone asked me that question in that voice, I would be able to say yes. I feel like I might.
You want to make dolls, Adam?
I might flee in terror. That might happen. Yeah. You and Sam were playing some game the other day, and I kind of saw. I saw a clip of you annoying Sam by singing. What game was that, and why did you have to torture poor Sam?
Every day of our life.
It was Pit People.
Yo, I love that game.
So do we. We played it for 2 days in a row. It's so fun.
Now,
why?
All right.
Why is it fun?
TV,
Tell me more.
Right, Jesse?
I was about to say, your relationship. What was that like for you two? Because I actively here's what happened whenever we played. So TP and I played. We recorded like 3 hours of the game. Every time, maybe 1 or 2 guys would come attack me. The entire mass would always attack TB's characters, and so he kept dying. And I was like, man, this is easy. I don't know what's going on over there, dude. He's like, they're everywhere. It's so funny.
Yeah. So just to explain, Adam, it's kind of like Final Fantasy Tactics-esque. You have a small squad of units that you control on like a hexagonal board, and it has a co-op feature, so your friend can also have a small team of units, and you capture and recruit units into your group. There's like an abundance of collectibles and hats and whatnot that you can.
I had a baby on my team, Adam. Yeah. I had a baby Grim Reaper. It was amazing.
It's made by Behemoth, right?
The
Battle Block Castle Crashers.
Yeah. So it's just a big adventure with a bunch of side quests and a world map, and you kind of just go around, and they've just had a lot of fun with it, and there's a lot of great jokes and humor in the game. Yeah.
Is it out for real, or is it?
It's early access.
Early access, but there's a lot to the game already.
Yeah, it feels more when you're playing it. It feels more like an extensive demo because there are entire areas that they purposefully block off So it feels kind of like, here's part of the map, enjoy, but you can tell that there's more to it that you just can't play yet. So I'm excited for the full thing to be out, because already like Sam has this spider lady on his team, and every single time we fought another spider lady, he was like, oh my God, her shoes are so cute. We should like capture that spider lady so that mine can have those shoes, right?
You can capture something you already have, and you get everything that unit you capture is wearing. So we'll see like a really cool hat and be like, I must have this hat. And then you just catch that unit instead.
There's a cupcake person in this game.
Yeah.
And there are missions to help his cupcake friend, because he's always about to be eaten, and it is...
But I always want to recruit his friend, because his friend always has the best headpieces. Like there was one quest where he was at a wedding, and on top of his frosting was like a little like bride and groom like cake topper, and I was like, that's so funny. It's good.
It does sound kind of amazing.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing.
Literally,
Someone in chat was saying that it's a bit like Heroes of Might and Magic meets Pokemon, which is kind of a cool like intersection.
Yeah, definitely. And then
that.
there's an arena too, so you can like build a team, and then you can like fight other people, or you can like try and climb the Colosseum ladder, and you get rewards and stuff.
Yeah, I think the PvP is going to be really cool. Sam and I, since we did co-op the whole time, we weren't able to do any PvP, because if you're on a team of 2, if you're doing co-op and you try to go into PvP, instead of it saying, "Oh, you guys want to fight each other," it just kicks one person out of the game. So we were like, "Oh, okay, never mind."
Good, perfect.
Yeah.
Sam, I hear you're playing some Dota. I hear that a certain King Shit has been making you play Dota with him.
Oh yeah, he recruited me. I'd say yesterday, but the day before.
How you holding up, buddy? Blink twice if you need us to come save you.
It's been pretty funny. I don't know. Like, I guess I'm not invested in the game enough to like feel the rage that clearly a lot of people feel when we play, but we've witnessed it a lot. We streamed it last night, and oh man, there was some special people. There were some special people that I hope to meet every day of my life.
Well, that's the thing, right? Is people are so used to watching you play Blood Bowl that when you said you were going to play Dota, they were like, "Oh my God, chat is going to be like Sam is going to be so salty, and chat's going to be awful." But when you don't play a game a ton, you're really receptive to help. So
also, I was actively embracing the fact that I was terrible, and chat was like into it, instead of me trying to pretend I was good, and chat being like, "But you're not."
I popped into your and actually, Pokket, I think you were there for this. I popped into your stream the other day to check out some of that Blood Bowl action, and I have to say, I haven't spent a ton of time like hanging out in there, but you have a very special relationship with your viewers.
You do.
It's sometimes I treat them like my children, and sometimes they test me and they cross a line, and sometimes
Papa Strippin has to go and get the Switch.
Yeah, so to speak.
I'm like the opposite of you. Like, I'm playing Dark Souls, and if I die and someone goes, "You died," I'm like, "Shut up!" And they're like, "But you did," and I'm like, "I don't need to be reminded." Like, I get so mad.
To be fair, though, like Dark Souls streams, I think that's a fairly common thing that people will just say that you died when you die, as if you didn't notice. And I feel like we need to start doing that in all streams, in all games. Just go into a stream and be like, "Your character is blue. This is a video game."
Did you know that?
Did you know that you're blue?
You're in third person.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say my way of combating that was I made an emote that's just an adorable skull with heart eyes. So instead of people saying you died, they just spam that emote, and I'm like, it kind of makes me feel better because it's so cute.
Yeah. How's Dark Souls going, Pokket? How's that?
I beat all but Nameless King. I beat the final boss. I finally beat the champ. That took me 20 tries to beat the champ. I was really, 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 really on edge about that one. But then I beat the final boss 3 tries, and now I can't beat Nameless King. I just can't do it.
Nameless King is the only Dark Souls boss that I had to beat off stream because I didn't want people to have to watch me suffer for hours and hours and hours. But I did it. I
feel like that's what's going to happen, though, is I'm going to be like, I'm going to beat it off stream, guys, because I tried. I think the lowest I got him one time out of like 15 tries was like a third of his health, and then the rest wasn't even close. So,
I tried to. I totally fine single player, like one shot the dude. Went back in multiplayer. There was 3 of us. Oh my god, like 3 days trying to beat. Because he would just swing at one person and just hit the other 2 every time, and it was horrible. He's a horrible man.
He's really difficult, but one thing I like about him versus like the twins, I hated them. The twins were so annoying because they just teleported everywhere. Like you swing and they teleport, and you're just like, okay, that's cool. Versus him, like it's actually like he punishes you if you don't dodge correctly or something. So I really appreciate that. It's less RNG, so and more. Wow, I fucked up.
And you're just finishing. This is 3, and 3 is the first one you played, right?
Yeah, it's the first one I've ever played.
So are you gonna go right into into 1 or 2 or Bloodborne, or are you gonna give it some time and play something else?
Oh well.
Are you gonna become
based
a
on my
full-time Dark Souls
stress and
streamer
anxiety level, like I'm gonna give Dark Souls a break for a little while, and I'm gonna go into like some Telltale games I missed, and Hitman and Zelda, and then later on I'm gonna do Bloodborne. And I think in the summer, whenever there's like a lull in gaming, I'm gonna go ahead and try a new game +1.
Have you done the DLC for Dark Souls 3?
I walked into the DLC and I realized quickly, oh, it's not like you fight one hard mob, you fight 20 at once. So I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm ready for this.
Yeah, the DLC in my experience for those games is like the main game is like, yeah, but fuck you, and then the DLC is like, no, but like really, like.
Oh, you made it this far? So,
yeah, good work. But seriously though, try this on. Well, it's good. It's good to have those games like in your pocket for when it does get pun not intended. For when when you have a lull, because otherwise you just end up playing garbage. So yes, save them, savor your Dark Souls experience.
Well, I've been doing League of Legends at night, so I don't know why.
Y'all are also didn't like
masochists.
Neo just come out?
Yeah, or it's isn't it still like in beta thing?
Yeah, it's like little demos. They're like releasing some demos, I guess.
Yeah.
Samurai Dark Souls. It's gonna be great.
I know that Lobos played it and said he liked it. So.
I want to let you know something, Sam. I played that game at PlayStation Experience. This is how terrible I am at that game. First level that I got, a guy comes at me, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess I like block. He stabbed me, killed me. I was like, okay, let's try this again. 25 minutes later, Sam. 25 minutes later, I was like, well, that was a fun experience.
First enemy of the game?
First enemy of what I played. It may not be of the game. First enemy of whatever it was that I played. Could not beat him. Actually, I stand corrected. I killed one guy, and then 2 more guys spawned and killed me, and I couldn't figure out how to kill 2 guys at once. So that is... I'm terrible at those games.
I watched Cry throw himself at a boss for maybe 5 hours last night. And credit to him, absolutely unwavering determination. Like didn't get upset one time. He was like, okay, let's try this. And just for 5 hours just stab.
It was really cathartic to watch because he'd be like, maybe this time I'll try to just catch the blade. And he'd walk out there, get one shot and die and be like, that didn't work.
I feel like that kind of intense welcome to the game, now we're going to beat you to death design is like the equivalent in a tabletop game of being like, you can't catch the goblin, he's got 30 dexterity, or you try to light a fire, you fail, sorry, tough shit. Yeah, it's cruel. It's a cruel move, but if you can get over it and you can get through it, it's worth it. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people who play Dark Souls are going to go play that Neo game and see what's up. I will probably wait because I don't have the endurance for that stuff. I get one Souls game a year, and that's fine.
Sam and I have talked about playing through Dark Souls 3 together because I still haven't played it.
Do it.
Yeah, when we played Dark Souls 1, we played it next to each other, and it was fun.
Well, that's cool. That's a different way, like not co-op, but just hanging out playing, like you guys did with Until Dawn.
We did a little bit of co-op, but the game is kind of it doesn't let you co-op the whole thing. It's limited in how it lets you do that.
We called it
let you do that,
Dark Soulmates.
I remember that. It was gross. It was really gross.
Thank you. Thank you for your honesty, Adam.
It was really, really gross. Thank you.
So keep an eye out for Dark Soulmates 3, Winku.
I'm pretty sure you can co-op all but the tutorial area, so you can just run through together.
Yeah.
So I summoned on accident, but I also summoned bad guys on accident too. So, I mean, no one would tell me. What's this yellow thing? I don't know.
Well, let's play some Nebula JS, shall we?
No.
Should we do that? I promise that will be less punishing than Dark Souls. You can punish each other. That's better. So before we get into it, let's, because it's still real early in the campaign, let's go through everybody's character. I just want to know everybody's character and your aspects. So why don't we start with Eugene? What are your aspects, Eugene?
Hello, everybody. I'm Eugene, and my aspects are that I'm the future richest slime in the galaxy. Obviously, I'm also a disgusting coward. My mom says that. I picked it up, and also less is more. So take that how you will. I'm a slime, and I'm proud, and that's it. That's my life.
All right, and what stunts do you have for your character? You can have up to 3. You
my
have
stunts
1.
are, because I need minions one day, once per session I can pull any team member out of danger.
Mm-hmm.
And then, thanks to my loudmouth, once per session I can talk my way out of any situation.
All right, let's talk about that second one.
Okay.
So I'm good with it as is, but I want to set expectations on this. So this only applies to you. So
yes.
If the whole group is in danger,
I can't talk everybody out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can slip your way out of it. It also has to require that talking could be a solution. You can't talk your way out of like a blender, for example.
Right.
Someone has to be able to understand you and have the authority to like get you out of the situation. You can talk yourself out of like a parking ticket, but not out of a gaping blaster wound.
Right.
But otherwise, yes, as long as it's fictionally sound, you do have the gift of gab. Though ironically, your loud mouth, it doesn't even have to be present for this to work, because you may not have a mouth at the time.
It's just to make other people feel, like they're looking at a face. But let's be honest, there's no face there.
You could do without it. Yeah. Excellent. Okay, cool. So future richest slime in the galaxy, disgusting coward, less is more, and a couple of slippery stunts. Cool. All right. Handsome heroic Rex. What are your aspects?
My aspects are daring outlawed sharkanoid. I
love that aspect so much.
A cartilage skeleton, and compellingly heroic. And my troubling aspect is predatory hunger.
That's true, as we've seen, to the dismay of some space penguins, some penguinoids. What I see you've also added a couple of stunts. Let's talk about your stunts. What do you got?
Rex's stunts are, because I'm the apex predator of the galaxy. I am. I get a +2 when I quickly attack when engaged in one-on-one combat. We saw that one last episode. Because of the eternal hunger of the sharkanoids, once per session, I can devour anything the size of my body or smaller.
It's true.
I like it.
True. Yes.
I like it.
And finally, because I am compellingly heroic, once per session, I can dodge a single attack in an incredibly flashy manner.
So this stunt, I wanna deconstruct and reconstruct a little bit. So. Okay. So this stunt sounds a lot more like it sounds like it would fit a lot better as the same style of stunt as your first one.
Right.
That would give you, because you're describing an action, you're describing an approach, and you're describing why. You're already describing a certain kind of stunt. I feel like this one would be better described as as you get +2 when flashily dodging in a certain circumstance. Right. When I'm being heroic, right? When flashily defending.
Okay. As a persistent stunt.
Yeah, exactly. As a always in that circumstance. Okay. The same as you get a +2 when you quickly make the attack action. We would just need to figure out what the circumstance of your flashy dodge, your flashy defending is, right? Because the +2 to quickly attack only happens in one-on-one combat. So what is it that triggers your flashy dodge? Do you need to have an audience, right?
I think maybe we need. Yeah, maybe we need an audience.
Okay, so because of your compellingly heroic nature, you get a +2 when defending flashily, as long as there's an audience, as long as there's someone to watch you be a flashy dodger. I like it. All right, so this applies to the defend action. Whenever anyone's attacking you, it'll be up to you to describe how your character is dodging in a flashy way. Cool.
All right,
Cool. All right. Quinn.
Hello there, Adam.
Well, let's talk about your aspects and stunts.
Okay. Well, I'm a disgraced guardian of the 12 Serpenters. Everyone hates a lizard man, and I'm a former space jacker.
It's true.
I also meticulously collect jars.
Yes,
So,
that's very important.
It's pretty cool.
Yep.
If you're in the jar community.
There's a very large jar collecting community in the universe. They keep it on the DL. It was illegal for some time. Yep. And what are your stunts?
The last guardian, I get +2 forceful attacking when I'm outnumbered.
Which we saw when you were fighting the.
I used a man to hit another man, Adam.
I remember.
It was fucking dope.
It was beautiful. Yeah.
And strawberry shortcake.
Also, I have a strawberry shortcake thermos in my pants.
Good to know. All right.
Still canon. It's down
you still have room for one more aspect and 2 more stunts, but you can take your time figuring out what you want those to be.
Great.
Great. And last but not least, our sole human, robot, Aurora. What are your aspects?
I'm a mechanic of Alexatron, a robot-dominated world. I travel with my loyal companion Sparky, who acts like a dog, but he's a robot. And I have no emotions because I'm a robot. Now that's the one that I was considering changing when I get it.
Yeah. Let's talk about that a little bit, because there is that one. There's also so Mechanic of Alexatron. Did you want to change it from how it was before? Because it used to be Happy-Go-Lucky Mechanic of Alexatron.
Should I keep it Happy-Go-Lucky?
Keep it for now. You'll get a chance to change these up later. But I think that one's much easier to compel, and then we can let it you can let it change over time. Okay.
I wanted to add like a battle dog one. Because I think I have no emotions, I'm a robot can also be used against me a lot.
That's why it's your trouble aspect.
Yeah, and that's fine. The battle dog one, though, I think I want Sparky to keep being like, because I put a lot of emphasis on him last time, and that was interesting. So.
Yeah. Well, so you've got two slots available for aspects. Sparky as a character is an aspect already. Yeah. So you've got availability for that for like a bunch of different things. But if you want to like further define that, you can if you have an idea of what you want to do. But you can also let that develop in play. Right? We can learn more about Sparky as you go.
Okay, I'll probably just let it linger for now and learn about it in play. So.
Okay, cool. And what is your stunt?
Well, because I was raised by robots, once per session I can hack robotics around me when I feel threatened.
That's right. It's a way to defend your poor human body.
Which is what I did with those guys' eyeballs.
That's right. Yeah, before Captain Slipknot shot himself in the face.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's fantastic. So you'll get a chance to move your stats around, move your approaches around, and change up some of your aspects and do all that stuff when we hit the first milestone, which I imagine we will fairly quickly. But at the beginning of today's episode, we actually don't see the grip of you, right? We see the shot fades in on a dumpster in an alley. In the station, in Station Tavik, and there's sentients milling about in the street, but we pass them and go into this alley, and there's smoke coming up out of the dumpster, and standing next to it, stripping off his malfunctioning rocket boots, is the injured Captain Slipknot. He's got a terrible laser scar on his face. He's bandaged his head with a piece of cloth, and he's dumping these rocket boots into the trash. And we see him raise his space jacker radio to his mouth and say a few things into it, but there's only static and sparks. He punches the side of the dumpster angrily and checks his pistol before storming off into the dark. We fade down a few stories through the station into the lower areas of the sort of more abandoned parts of Station Tafik, where we find the group of you. And you've managed, Quinn, to create a sort of ceasefire situation between you and the crew that you formerly belonged to. Now they're not all familiar faces, right? There's some turnover among the Space Jackers. It's a dangerous game, Space Jackin'. But you do recognize Bartush, one of your old companions from the crew. Bartush is an Orgrillian, so he's a big kind of square silhouetted guy, huge shoulders, kind of tiny nub of a head, big tusks coming out of his bottom jaw, kind of a faint green color, and he's an enforcer or former enforcer for Captain Slipknot, and it looks, based on his uniform and the way the other jackers defer to him, Bartush seems to have gotten a promotion since the last time you saw him. So you've convinced him and the other Space Jackers, in the absence of their captain, to stop shooting, but the scene is still very it's tense. It's still very tense, and the Space Jackers behind Bartush are like talking. They're like, "Well, Captain's orders was to capture this guy," and they're kind of mumbling, and Bartush is kind of like held up his meaty 3-fingered hand in a like, "Quiet, I'm dealing with this." So what do we see, Quinn? What are you saying? What are you doing in this situation? How are you diffusing it?
Well, is there anything I can notice about them or something about their that might be different from the last? I mean, aside from the upgrade to his like anything that I can talk to him about that would be of some value in like addressing this guy.
I mean, you have a history. You have a history with him, right? Like the two of you go back there. You've been on Space Jacks together before. I like how we keep using the term, but no one is really sure what that means.
You've jacked together, so
yeah,
it's jacking.
The history of Space Jacking.
We jacked. Yeah, jacking around.
Yeah. So you have that.
Really jack offs,
Yeah, you have that. But if you'd like to take an action to make a roll to try to create an aspect like dissent among the crew or whatever, that's definitely a thing you could attempt to do.
I'm going to save on my aspects. I you know what? I'm just going to man. I guess.
Sorry, I was gonna say like. I assume there's like a tense, silent moment at least definitely. Here, right? So, like we all kind of sit in that moment, and I just sort of splat part of myself against Quinn and go, "Hey, ask them about the stuff. Like how'd they know to? Hey, ask them about the thing and the how they knew to come here, huh?
Yeah, it's a good.
Ask them about the stuff."
Quinn looks up at Bartush and is like, "How did you find me?"
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah.
He looks at you and he kind of scowls and he says, Captain Slipknot never forgets a slight. We've been hunting you a while now, Quinn." And he like looks up at the sort of smoldering hole in the floor where Slipknot flew through, and he says, "You may have given him the slip for now, but he's gonna keep coming. It's the Space Jacker way." And he like scowls at you.
I'd actually like to create an aspect now.
All right.
Actually, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Would this be considered part of my already former Space Jacker ways? Because I wanted to make a new aspect that was relentless, like I'll always keep coming for you. But if I'm already a former Space Jacker, wouldn't that already be a part of it?
So here's the thing. The fact that you are a former space jacker would imply that your character knows all kinds of things about space jackery and about how it operates and the secret code of the space jackers.
Yeah.
Like all of that is familiar to you and you have access to it. So when you make a roll, you can use your fate points to call on that as far as anything about space jacking is concerned. But if you want to create another aspect for this conversation that's like something else, you can take that action and then use the bonus that you get to try to convince him to do something or whatever. But yeah, like he doesn't seem willing to tell you the details of the hunt. You just know that yeah, this is a thing.
You know, I'll never fight you. But the captain, he stole from us. He jacked the jackers.
And when you say that, there's a susurration in the crowd. Like the other space jackers, are like, you never jack a jacker. Like that's against the law.
And you just hear me in the back going, like just giggling.
You never jack a jacker.
I'm lost now. I don't know how to help you, big guy. I'm here for emotional support, though. If you need me, I'm right here. I just,
So he says to you, he says, because of our past, everything we've been through together, Quinn, I'll tell the captain you got away, but it's not going to stop him. You're going to have to kill him if you want that, or make peace. And then the others, there's some more noise behind them that they're like, no, we can't do that. Like that's the captain said, and he's just like, I'll handle these guys.
You hear like the clacking of boots against the walls, and you see like Rex come up from behind where he was fighting the captain. He's just like comes up behind the group, and like a few of them turn to see him, and he's kind of like holding like this malfunctioned robotic eye,
right?
And he just like crushes it in his hand, and you see like the entrails fall to the ground, and he's like, next time he comes back, he will die.
Ooh. All right, Rex, can I get you to make a roll?
I want them to look at you and be like, he's got like 50 eyes, dude. It's not even a problem.
Well, let's see. So you're it sounds to me like you're trying to intimidate them, right? You're trying to like unsettle them a little bit, show that you're tough. So why don't you roll flashily, roll flashy,
okay.
and I'll defend. And if you can beat me on this roll, then we'll create a new aspect that's like intimidated crew or something that'll give anybody who wants to put a little pressure on them.
All right.
All right. The number to beat is, let's see here, a 5. You're not easily intimidated.
Ooh. All right.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll your flashy, and then we'll see. All right. So you got a 2, which means you're gonna have to either re-roll with an aspect or give yourself some bonuses here. Otherwise, I'll get to create an aspect, and it'll end up something like, I ain't afraid of no sharks.
Can I help? I forget how we're able to help one another. Do I have to also use a
no? So if you wanted to help, you can explain how your character is helping, and it'll add a +1. But it also means Eugene has to step up and be intimidating, right? You have to take equal space in the role. Is that a thing Eugene would do?
Like I have to roll flashy, or I just give him a +1?
No, he would just get a +1.
So from next to Quinn, he's starting to feel, like I got big guy here, I got big guy there. I'm feeling kind of like, we're in a good place. So he crushes the eyeball, and I'm like, oh, that's good. I like that. And then from behind, I'm like, yeah, pieces for pie.
All right, so that puts you up to a 3. So Eugene's little shout from behind, it boosts you up to 3, but you still need 2 more to be able to intimidate them. Do you want to spend a fate point and invoke an aspect? You've got 3. We're at the beginning of the game. Everybody's refreshed up to 3.
Yeah, I'll invoke my aspect of the daring outlaw. I'm not afraid of these space jackers.
Okay.
I've been running for the law all my life.
All right. I will happily take that fate point from you. So on a tie, you create an aspect that anybody can use once, I think. Let me check. Yeah, generate 1 free invocation on an aspect. Okay. So what do you want to call that? What do you want to call that aspect for the scene? Intimidated jacker crew? What's the advantages you're going to give to?
The aspect's called Jackers Ain't Jack.
Okay. All right. So you're just sort of proving to them like, yeah, you're not as tough as you think you are. We're a big deal.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. All right. So anybody can, for free, without spending a point, anybody can make get a +2 on a roll, which I think will be what Quinn is going to need to do here. So Quinn, yeah, if you want anything out of them aside from like you running and him telling the captain like, yeah, you ran like a coward, you're going to need to make a roll. But we cut back. The crew is looking at the Sharkanoid kind of like nervously, but trying not to seem like they're nervous because that wouldn't be cool. And Bartouche turns to address you. And he looks at you and he says, "That's the deal, Quinn. You turn tail now, and you've got a head start. Get back to your ship. Get off the station before Slipknot comes looking for you. He's going to be twice as pissed as he was before."
I walk up, I get really close to him, and I say, "We've still got business here. You tell him when he's fixed to come find us again, and we'll break him
Yeah, this ain't over.
and over."
This ain't over. You listen to him. This guy, I seen him crush a dude. This guy.
But then I look to the others and then back at Bartouche, and I'm like, "But I promised you I would never hurt you, and I'll stick to that promise. Don't get in my way."
All right. Okay. So I'll have you overcome. We'll say difficulty 4. And it's his pride you're trying to overcome, right?
What am I rolling for this?
I don't know. That sounded to me like we could interpret it a couple of ways.
Forceful?
Yeah, I mean you're being pretty aggressive. Yeah. I think that's fine. Yeah, because you're like, no, I'm tougher and cooler than you. Do as I say.
Use the aspect.
So you roll first, and then.
Oh shit! Yeah, I am outnumbered technically.
It's not an attack though. You're not in. I
meant the one that I made. The Jackers Ain't Jack.
Yes, that is one you can use. But your stunt actually does apply in any kind of conflict if you do a forceful attack. But this isn't deep enough to be a conflict. If you were arguing with him over like a long period of time, and we were using the conflict rules, you definitely get your.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh Jesus!
Damn. Crushed.
That is, you got a 7. It's the best possible roll that Quinn can get.
I don't know that I want to use Jackers Ain't Jack right now. We might want to save that if they come back at us later.
Yeah, you sure don't. So, yeah, I think that ends the scene. I think you can see him struggling. You see Bartouche struggling with his pride. The Ogrillians are a proud people, and you see him scowl and like kind of grind his tusks a little. And then he nods his stump of a head and he says, "Just this once, for old times." And he sticks out his sort of hoof-like hand to shake yours.
I shake it back and I stare him in the eyes while doing it because I respect the dude. Even though we're enemies, he was a good friend.
Yeah, and he turns. Enemy. Yeah, you can see he turns to the rest of the Jacker crew and he's like, "All right, you scum, let's go." And they're kind of like, "But we're not going to kill these guys." And he's just like, somebody starts to talk and it swats him in the head. He's like, "You heard me, let's go." And they all start to head off. Oh, jeez, boss. Oh. Yeah, they all start to head off up the street, leaving you in the filthy roadway of the lower areas of the station. So you do still have an appointment to make. But does anybody want to confront Quinn about what the hell just happened?
Nah.
No. Oh, no. I think we got it.
That's awesome.
He got good. Jackers. There's a lot of jacking going on. I mean, I think we got
okay. Well, so here's
I feel like I know just about everything we gotta know, right?
Well, yeah. Here's a question for the group. Like, have you had run-ins with Quinn's space jacker friends before?
Nah, I don't think so. But here's the thing, right? Is like none of us got good shit going on, and we know not to ask about it. It's like we're a team. We work together. It doesn't matter. You move on. You don't want to talk about it. You don't got to talk about it.
We've all got demons.
Well, I got robots, but like close enough.
We've all got demons in different forms.
Hey, listen. There is a long tradition of religion on Alaxatron that talks deeply about robot hell and what a horrible place it is. Robot devil is real. Don't pretend like he's not. He's watching you. All right. So Quinn, do you expect
somebody draw Robot Devil now, please?
Do you expect your companions to rake you over the coals about this, or are you just like you walk away? Like what's your reaction to having this moment of your past come back?
I mean, I'd say I'm probably already like playing fetch with Sparky, like while they're doing this, like I'm just not even paying attention.
Right, and we know you're not even a little bit cognizant of the dangerous neighborhood that you're in, and you just are like totally oblivious. But Quinn, you have this run-in with Bartush and everything, but like how do we see you react? What are you doing immediately after that moment before we cut to the hotel?
What?
I just want to know. What Quinn is doing.
I thought you said Bartush, and I was like, is he still all right?
No. After the scene with him, after he's left.
How are you feeling emotionally?
Yeah, what's Quinn doing? Are you like angry? Are you?
No, Quinn is just not like he knows this is something that's been chasing him for a while, but because he's on a crew of people who don't share their feelings, he bottles it up inside, even though he desperately wants to talk about it. He desperately what people don't know is that lizard men, especially lizard men, are very emotional beings, and that's why they talk like. That's why we talk like this, because it's all bottled up inside them, and
it's like you have a jar inside you with the
that's
lid
why
screwed on.
Yes, I store my emotions. Spoilers, guys! When it finally comes out, I store my emotions in those jars. So if something were to ever happen to those jars, imagine the end of the world scenario. Like, people will die. People will die. So yeah, that's how on my planet, women are totally emotionless, and they rule the planet, and they're like the Serpentes, and they rule the planet. But the men we're emotional beings, and we're very, very like open with each other. And I think that's also part of why people hate lizard men, because we have a lot of opinions, and it's tough.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I ask questions like that, why we have these moments, is that now that aspect, we have a different context for it. Now you can use it later when you need to like bottle up your emotions. It's become a metaphor. It's perfect.
I open
the meticulous jar collector.
I open Strawberry Shortcake and just sort of like breathe into it and then bottle it back up and stick it back in the pants.
Excellent. All right, cool. So we all see you kind of like start to head down the street, and we wipe to the outside of a very dingy looking hotel. It's got a big neon sign above the front door in a bunch of different languages, kind of flickering on and off, that says Hotel Mulray. Rather, we get the subtitle because nobody puts up signs in human language. And this is where Cthulhu said that your buyer for the strange device that you found on the Agaran warship would be waiting for you. So the hotel, it has a dingy metal door that slides open when you approach it, and you walk into a lobby with what was probably at one point like thick shag carpeting, but has sort of greased over into a kind of semi-sticky mass. There's a lift at the back, as well as some emergency stairs that lead up to the various suites of the Hotel Mulray, and there is a robotic valet behind the desk. And despite being a robot, he's like wearing a sort of stained like muscle shirt, and has a bit of a robotic paunch, and has like some wires combed over the back of his head. And he's watching a little view screen on the desk.
So are we outside, or have we walked in?
You've just walked up there, like you're walking into the unless anybody wants to stay outside, you're kind of, the scene starts with you walking into the lobby.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do we know like where in here we're supposed to go?
No, just that someone would be meeting you.
And we don't even really know who we're meeting, right?
No, it's a big mystery.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm gonna roll over to the front desk then.
Okay.
And say, hello, I believe somebody is waiting for a Eugene.
And without looking up, the robot, the android, he says, It's like, oh, we ain't got any vacancy. Sorry.
No.
Like waves.
I don't need a room. There's like I'm meeting a guy here. He might be staying. I don't know. Is there somebody who's waiting for a Eugene?
And he kind of like leans back and looks over at the space where you would be standing, but doesn't see anything because you're shorter.
I like
than
slowly
the counter.
elongate my body.
Yeah, and he leans back in his chair, which you now see is actually his like from his waist down is just like he's built into the floor, so he kind of like tilts back on his little like dongle, and he looks at you and it's like, oh, he scared me. And he takes out of his pocket a little pair of like glasses, puts them on his face, and picks up a pad and flips through. He's like, Eugene. Oh, yes, I see here. You're gonna need a key, and he sets the pad down, and he reaches onto. There's a big wall behind him with all these key fobs hanging, and he picks one up, and he holds it, and he kind of looks for your, like the appendage to put it in.
I just like put a little bit of my goop out.
Yeah, he kind of sets it down, and he's like, that room, there's a cleaning fee, so don't.
Don't worry. I'm very thorough. Thank you so much for your time. You're wonderful. I'll return this immediately. You're doing great.
He nods as all four of you, I guess, like walk by.
Yeah. I assume on the key there's like a room, blah blah blah, or something.
Yes. Yeah. There's a room number on the key.
Okay. All right. Let's do this. Let's find out who's gonna buy this baby, huh?
I let Eugene lead the way. Just let him.
Okay.
With the key inside of his goop.
Yeah, I've got the key inside a part of my goop. I've got the scepter inside a part of my goop. I'm just like, yeah.
Be
Maybe I got a wallet in there. I don't know where that came from.
I collected like some pebbles and I just keep throwing them at Eugene to see if they'll stick.
Stop sticking stuff in me. All right. Okay. So Eugene, you lead the way down the hall. And so again, we leave the lobby and we're in a hallway, and the hallway is like every like seedy hotel in every film noir movie ever. It's because it's sci-fi, the hallway's octagon shaped, and it's got the same kind of filthy carpet. The windows, the hallway isn't really lit. There are a few kind of dim bulbs on the ceiling, but most of the light is coming from a huge neon ad on the wall across from the hotel. So there's this kind of odd like magenta light kind of blasting through the windows that you pass by occasionally. Most of the doors of these rooms are shut, and you're walking down towards the room. It's, I don't know, room 605. And you're walking towards it down this hallway, and I think that as you walk by, somebody in a room, one of the rooms, like you see them peer out from behind the chain lock and then like slam the door as you go by, and everywhere is just the sound of like the buzzing of the room, and you hear, I think at some point in the distance in like one of the rooms you hear some kind of strange like guttural like animal like barking sound.
There's also the weird creepy giggles that are always in those scenes too, like. What is happening in that room that they're just giggling at each other?
Are there children
That's
here?
just me.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Like
That's
what?
me in the back.
Yeah.
No, it's the children's laughter. It's when the children start randomly laughing around you, and you're like, nah, I don't want to be here anymore.
No, I'm out. Okay, cool. So we wind up in front of the door, and I stand there for a second, and then I turn around, sort of expectantly, and look at everybody else. You gonna? It's not like I can knock. I just splat on it. Can one of you like?
Rex sighs and he's like resting his arms in his pockets loosely, and he just kind of like brushes past and raps the door with the back of his knuckles.
Yeah, the first hit on the door, and the door like swings open.
Oh well, that's convenient. Hello, we're coming in. Is anybody in here?
Quiet.
All right. Rex just kind of like knocks the door the rest of the way open with his foot and just strolls in.
All right. So you stroll into the room. It's a small hotel suite. There's a kind of main room. and there's a bedroom off to one side with the door kind of partly open. As you pan your eyes around the room, again, this room is lit with that horrible, not quite a color, like pink purple from the sign across the street, cut by the Venetian blinds that close the window. So there's big blocks of darkness and then this pink light. There's a ceiling fan turning sort of lazily, trying to move some of the air around the room, but it's like stifling warm in here. Next to a lounge chair sitting in the sort of mid corner of the room, there's an ashtray. It's a glass ashtray with a cigarette in it, and there's smoke drifting up towards the fan from the cigarette. But no one's sitting in the chair. The room seems empty except for the obvious sign that someone was here recently. There might be someone in the other room, but for now, there's just this kind of quiet, smoky room.
Okay.
All right.
Well, that's not weird. Just kind of like look around.
Can we like detect anything? Like,
can your dog detect anything?
That's what I'm wondering. Like, can I, like, as we walk in, and Sparky starts doing a scan, do you think he could pick up on anything in particular?
Yeah.
Like his eyes glow white, and you see like faint light move about the room.
Yeah, like a flickering sort of beam of light.
He's got bat vision.
Sparky indicates to you by way of a series of cheerful barks that there's a life form, like a life form of some kind in the other room.
Okay, and so and then the door's closed to that other room.
It's open slightly. It's like a little bit ajar.
So I'd say what he does is he sort of like goes up to the door and starts like barking and running in circles, and then he points to the door with his nose, kind of like a pointer would.
Mm-hmm.
And I turn to the others and I'm like, well, I think something's in there. And it might be just, another animal, but there's clearly something in there.
Rex just opens the door.
Okay. So Rex, as you
moseys over and grabs it and just peels it.
as you walk over to the door, you walk past the lounger and we see the cigarette sitting in the ashtray, and it has the stain of like blue lipstick on the filter. We notice that. We get a like nice shot as you pass it. You push the door open, and starting from the floor up, the shot tracks real slow over the carpeted floor, up the sort of scuffed legs of a big bed. The comforter of the bed, we can see that there's a blue like fluid dripping into a puddle on the floor, and lying on the bed, stripped down to his underwear, we see the dead body of the High Prince Novarius.
I knew it.
He's been shot in the chest. He's been shot in the chest several times, and even in death, even in this ignoble place, he's the most beautiful life form you have ever seen. His golden skin, burnt and peeled back from the wounds. He's got one hand on his forehead, and he's lying in a pool of his own long, luxurious, beautiful hair, and his blue blood drips onto the floor. And when you push the door open and see the body of the High Prince, that's when you hear the sirens. And we're gonna go to break, and we'll find out. We'll find out what happens next.
Oh man!
After this, so stick around. We got lots more RollPlay Nebula Jazz coming at you when we get back. See you in a bit.